Alright, so I have to make a video about this whole Don Cherry, Poppy, racist, whatever you want to call it, remarks. First of all, I don't believe they're racist, and I'll get into why. But basically, he made comments last night on Hockey Night in Canada, basically saying, talking in reference to Remembrance Day about. He never specifically referred to immigrants, but or he never specifically said immigrants, but I think it's pretty obvious that's who he was referring to. In that it's not his exact quote, but in a nutshell, he said that they come here, they basically they want all the goodies, they want all the free stuff, but yet they don't give anything back. Now that's basically the gist of what he said. And I think he said the least you could do is buy, spend, 25 cents or whatever it costs to get a Poppy and wear that. And that he's not wrong. I mean, I don't understand why I understand why people are so upset, but he's not wrong in both ways. Number one, immigrants do overwhelmingly they do overwhelmingly take more out of the system than they put in. The numbers back that up, and not only that, the numbers overwhelmingly back that up. It's not like it's 10 or 20% more. It's immigrants from the third world in the U.S., I believe, is about 2.5 times more likely to be on welfare than a general citizen. So he is right about the whole they come here and they want all the free goodies, all this kind of stuff. He's clearly right about that. And if you think he's wrong, rather than calling him racist, because calling him what people don't understand on the left is that, they understand it in a way, because whenever you call someone racist, someone on the left calls someone who is on the right, or even if they aren't on the right, racist. People on the right, at least, the overwhelming majority of them do, and people who have on the left that have their head on straight also, they immediately tune out anything you say, because anyone knows nowadays in the political climate, accusations of racism are almost always either completely false or largely overblown, like in this case. So accusing someone of being racist, if anything, it makes people on the right more likely to support them. So that's just kind of a pro tip for people on the left. How you would want it to have gone about actually changing people's mind rather than calling them racist is point out data that shows that immigrants don't take more out of the system than they put in, and that data doesn't exist. There's probably some cherry-picked data that you could point to that shows that, but there isn't, real hard data that actually shows that. The other part that he kind of talks about is the least you could do is wear a Poppy. So basically his point being is that you take so much out of the system, the least you could do is show a little bit of respect. And that's something that he's also right in that the immigrant population tends to be a little more disrespectful to Canadian or North American culture than people from that, or people that have grown up in that culture and have had generations. Someone who's grown up in Canada and had family members, like most whites, even some black, people that have been in Canada for generations, have someone in their direct family that fought in World War I, World War II, and they know exactly what it's like to not only that, they probably have old enough to remember the person. If you're, at least 25 to 30 years old, you probably were old enough to talk to that person about their experiences. And this is something that the immigrants aren't completely responsible for, I would say, because to them it's a foreign concept because they've always been at war. So it is a little bit, but I don't think that they should be off the hook in any means, because if you're going to come to a country and take from the system, then it's your job to figure out what it's going to take for people to be accepted. It's not the people that have built the country's job to bend over backwards for you, to accommodate you. It's the other way around, because we're the generous ones by letting them come, and the least they could do is integrate into our culture and accept the cultural norms, basically. And that's what he's trying to get at here, is you come here, you take out way more than you put in on average. The least you could do is accept our cultural norms, especially ones that, I mean, stuff like this doesn't even infringe on any religious grounds or anything, so there's absolutely no reason that they don't do that. And basically that kind of sums it up. And that, like I said, basically the take home point here being, number one, like I've mentioned before, and I'm going to have to keep mentioning over and over and over again, it's not racist or discriminatory to judge groups that act differently. Like I said, I'll say it again a million times over. If you have one group, Group A, Group B, they both commit, let's say, murder at the same rate, then saying that, you know, those people in Group B, they're so bad, they're killing way more people. Well, that would be discriminatory because they kill at the same rate. But if Group B killed at double the rate, let's say, compared to Group A, judging Group B differently is not discriminatory because they act differently. And the caveat that I will throw in, that needs to be thrown in, of course you don't judge individuals, but he never was judging individuals. And the other thing too, everyone always points out, oh, you can't judge an individual. I've hardly ever heard anybody make the argument that points out these group difference arguments that says you should judge individuals that way. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone say that, other than people that are like KKK members or something like that. But those are few and far between. So basically, that's kind of the gist of the story. So I'm not going to go any further because I could talk forever. But if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.